Okay, let's dive into this. North Carolina's advanced manufacturing scene. Wow, it's really taking off, isn't it?
It really is. And what's striking is we're seeing major moves in two very different areas simultaneously.
Exactly. You've got Merck putting, what, over $1 billion into a vaccine facility in Durham?
Mm-hmm. Huge investment.
And then, bam, VinFast drops $2 billion on an electric vehicle plant down in Chatham County.
That's the really unique part, this parallel expansion. Pharma and EVs. They're both high-tech, sure, but the specifics are worlds apart.
Totally. Think about the skills needed.
Yeah.
For pharma, you're deep into GMP, good manufacturing practice, aseptic techniques, incredibly stringent stuff.
Right, highly regulated. Whereas with EVs, you're talking high-voltage systems, battery tech, advanced robotics, completely different knowledge base.
Which brings us to the core question for this deep dive. How on earth is North Carolina managing this? Training specialized workforces for both of these demanding sectors fast at the same time.
It's a massive challenge, that dual skills gap. It's not something you see every day. How do you scale up training effectively for such different needs?
Yeah, traditional methods often feel too slow, don't they? Especially when you need speed and very specific complex skills.
Exactly. The usual approaches might struggle to keep pace with that kind of parallel demand.
Well, it looks like EON Reality is stepping up with what they're calling a major strategic initiative.
Ah, yes. Using spatial AI and XR, right, extended reality.
That's the one, VR, AR, that whole immersive tech space. They're positioning it as a way to, well, tackle this exact workforce bottleneck.
Interesting. So it's not just a general training platform. They're specifically targeting this dual need in North Carolina.
Seems like it. They've even launched these dedicated AI Academy for Income tracks, one for pharma, one for EV and clean energy.
That targeted approach makes sense. A one-size-fits-all solution probably wouldn't cut it here.
And the core of it seems to be their EON XR platform. Get this, it uses a spatial AI engine they call text to XR.
Oh, okay. What does that actually mean, text to XR?
They claim it can take, say, written GMP protocols or EV assembly instructions and turn them into interactive 3D training simulations in, wait for it, under 80 seconds.
80 seconds, seriously.
Yeah.
That's incredibly fast for developing training content.
Right. That's the kind of agility they're highlighting. If regulations change or a new EV model comes out, you can potentially update the training almost instantly.
That would be transformative, especially in pharma, where compliance is everything, and EVs, where the tech is constantly evolving. Speed matters.
So these AI Academy tracks, they combine that XR simulation with AI for personalized learning.
Ah, so the AI adapts the training to the individual learner.
That's the idea. Focus on practical skills, make people job ready, and then help connect them with employers like Merck or VinFast.
That personalization is key, isn't it? People learn differently. Tailoring it could mean better understanding, better retention. Crucial for complex stuff in both fields.
They also mentioned something called the EON Career Guide and Compass.
Okay, what's that about?
It sounds like a tool to help people figure out, what skills they already have that might transfer.
Ah, like foundational skills, maybe? Quality control, automation basics, that sort of thing.
Exactly. And then map out how to get the new skills needed for these specific pharma or EV jobs.
That's smart, connecting the dots for people, showing them pathways into these new industries.
And the curriculum itself, they're calling it AI-era curricula.
Yeah.
Co-developed with industry experts from both sides.
Good. That industry input is vital to make sure the training is actually relevant to the jobs.
And it's not just about the technical skills like operating equipment. It's also about teaching people how to work with AI systems, automated lines.
Which is increasingly the reality in advanced manufacturing, isn't it? Human-robot collaboration, data analysis.
Definitely. So, picture this. You could be in a virtual clean room, practicing sterile gowning, just like Merck requires.
Based on their actual SOPs?
Yeah, generated by the AI for those documents. Or you could be on a simulated VinFast assembly line, learning how to install a high-voltage battery pack safely.
That immersive practice, without the real-world risks, that's a huge advantage, especially for safety-critical tasks.
They're claiming it makes learning up to 4 times faster and produces people who are competent and compliant from day one.
4 times faster. That's a bold claim, but you can see how simulation could accelerate things. Less setup, less risk, more repetition.
So how are they actually rolling this out? It sounds like a big undertaking.
Yeah, implementation is key. It seems they're relying heavily on partnerships across the state.
Right. They mentioned working with state agencies like the Department of Commerce, the NC Biotechnology Center, NC Works.
Okay, so getting that strategic alignment, maybe funding avenues, connections.
And educational institutions are involved too.
Mm.
The whole NC community college system, specifically mentioning places like Durham Tech and Central Carolina CC.
That makes sense. Leveraging the community colleges for deployment, reaching students, faculty expertise, that's crucial infrastructure.
Absolutely. And then, of course, the industry leaders themselves, Merck, VinFast, but also their suppliers, the whole chain.
Crucial. They define the skills, validate the training content, and ultimately hire the graduates, right? That closes the loop.
Exactly. Without their buy-in, it doesn't really work.
And it sounds like they have flexible ways to deliver it, not just in one place.
Yeah, they talked about setting up dedicated AI Academy hubs, but also integrating it into existing college programs,
Okay.
plus mobile units to reach different areas, and even train the trainer programs for both pharma and EV specifics.
That multi-pronged approach seems necessary to get the scale and accessibility they need across North Carolina.
So let's zoom out.
Yeah.
What are the big benefits here for North Carolina, assuming this works as planned?
Well, the first one is speed, right? That accelerated time to competency. They mentioned up to a 60% reduction.
Yeah, and that 4x faster learning. Getting people skilled up for, say, aseptic processing or battery assembly much quicker.
That's huge for the companies trying to ramp up production.
Yeah.
And for individuals wanting to get into these good jobs faster.
Then there's the safety and compliance angle. Practicing tricky procedures, clean room stuff, high voltage work in a zero-risk virtual space.
Absolutely paramount in both these sectors. Better safety, better compliance built in from the start.
Plus, they argue it leads to better skills, fewer errors, people actually remembering more. They cited over 75% retention with XR.
That improved proficiency and quality. That directly impacts the bottom line. Fewer mistakes, higher quality products, whether it's medicine or cars.
And that AI content creation engine. Being able to update training instantly when GMP rules change or EV tech advances.
That adaptability is key. Keeps the training current.
They also pointed to cost savings, potentially 50–60% over traditional methods.
Scalable and cost-efficient. That's attractive.
And maybe most importantly, creating a workforce that's ready for the future, comfortable with AI and automation.
Future-proofing the workforce. That's essential for long-term competitiveness. It helps solidify North Carolina's position in both pharma and clean energy.
They gave some cool specific examples of the XR modules, too.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
For pharma, virtual aseptic gowning, running a simulated bioreactor, virtual filling lines, even AI-generated GMP compliance challenges.
Okay, very hands-on, specific tasks.
And for EVs, virtual battery pack assembly, high-voltage safety drills generated by AI, troubleshooting robotic lines, even using AR glasses to guide component installation based on service manuals.
Wow, you can really see how that makes training practical and relevant. It's not just theory, it's virtual doing.
And the curriculum samples they mentioned seem to really hit that dual need, the core technical skills for each sector, but also weaving in those AI and digital skills throughout.
Yeah, that integration is critical. It's not just what you do, but how you interact with the technology around you.
So wrapping up, North Carolina is in this unique spot, this dual boom.
A challenge, but also a huge opportunity.
And this EON Reality initiative, using spatial AI and XR, it's a really ambitious, innovative attempt to build that specialized workforce needed for both sectors.
It really is. If they can pull this off effectively, it could genuinely be a model for other regions facing similar complex growth scenarios, tackling multiple distinct high-tech needs at once.
It definitely makes you think, doesn't it? As AI and these immersive tools get better and better, is this the future of workforce development? Super fast, highly customized training on demand.
That's the big question, isn't it? How will these technologies fundamentally change how we learn skills, how we adapt to industry shifts, what North Carolina is doing here? It could offer some really valuable clues.
Yeah, a fascinating space to watch. And if you want to learn more, check out the EON Reality podcast or their EON NXR spoken blog.
Absolutely. The potential for AI and XR to transform how we transfer knowledge and prepare people for the future of work. It's immense. This is definitely a story worth following.